Welcome back to Tawana Talks, where I believe leadership is a dance everyone's invited to, even you with two left feet. Each week is a new track where we are chatting about the moves you make to lead yourself and others to success. So lace up those dancing shoes and let's dive into creating those supportive steps together. Ready to move with purpose? Let's hit the dance floor.
All right. So we just want to welcome you to Tawana Talks, where we are focused on nurturing leaders for lasting success under TL Collaborative Coaching and Consulting. And the purpose of the podcast is to bring together leaders so that we can, one, see ourselves in others, but then also just nurture an environment where leaders can thrive. And so for me, leaders are anybody because you have to lead yourself. But I am so excited about having our guest here today. Let me just give you some background information about her just a little bit, but she is going to do it so much better. She is an author, an award-winning author. Yes. She also is a traveler. She is a bomb boss, a mom, of all things. But aside from those things, just a phenomenal person who has a story to tell. And so I'm excited about having you here on today. When you talk about leadership, you embody so many qualities of that, not just in what you are doing currently, but just the story that you have to tell through your life. So I am excited about having Tanisha Mackin. This is her, and she is her brand. And so just talk to us. I mean, like, first of all, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. But yes, you're right. I'm a award-winning best-selling author, ghostwriter, publisher, and that came out of the blue. That job, I wanted to do something else, and that business came out of the blue. And right now, I'm a content creator and travel influencer. So, and a travel blogger as well. So what I do now is I go different countries, cities, states, don't matter. I review the hotel, I review the resorts, I review the food, I give things to do there, and I just also write about my experience because I'm a traveler and I want people to do, I don't want people to keep staying stuck in their cities and saying, oh, we can't, listen, you can go to the next city over and have a ball. But this business developed because of the tragedy that I went through as well. And my goal was to show my kids, we're going to get up and go, and we're going to live like to the fullest until the day we expire.
Right. No, I love that, and we're definitely going to dive into that because that speaks volumes into your journey. And I know your journey, and I know your story, but the people don't. And I think that in every life experience that we have, and going back to the philosophy that everyone's a leader, I think every experience can lend itself to leadership in other roles that we play in. And so your story just embodies resilience, the characteristics of a leader. And so just give us some story about, your past and the story that you have to tell that has propelled you into the woman that you are today.
Right. So, happily married. Just had our second child in January of 2010. So we had our second child, which is that daughter of mine. That mess. So we had her January. Then March of 2010, I got diagnosed with colon cancer. We don't know where that came from. We don't know what. So I asked the doctors, how long do I have to live? I'm like, listen, I just had a baby. At that time, I think she was, a month and a half. So I'm like, I just had a baby, so give me a time limit so I know how long I have on this earth with my daughter.
I know that part of your story, but I have to just kind of interject here. In this aspect, you were preparing yourself and your children for you to not be here. And that shifted a mindset as well on how you're going to live life.
Because once you say the word cancer, right? That's just to everybody that's, okay, I'm about to die. So what we about to do, like, tell me what's going on. But my doctor did say something to me that was just stuck with me. And she was like, you're going to die one day, but not on my watch. And she was like, I can't tell you how long you're going to live, but we're not doing it now. And I was like, okay, cool. Then my husband, on the other hand, was like, come on, we gangsters to cancer. So he was like, we about to fight this. So I'm like, you know, now I'm like, oh, we gangsters to cancer. So now he pushed me. He pushed me. So a year prior to me having cancer, me and him got married. We went to the Justice of Peace. Me and him was together for like 10 years. Yeah. So we went to the Justice of Peace. No rings, no nothing. We just went one day and said, we're getting married. So August 14, 2009, we got married. My dad said, hey, come home, come back to Buffalo, because we were living in Austin, Texas at the time. So he said, come back home. My father did the reception. He did the cake tasting. He did everything to put this reception together for me and my husband. So it was our 1 year anniversary / wedding reception. And plus, nobody had seen me since I had the cancer. Nobody had seen me since my daughter was born. So we go home, we're having a good time. And the night before our wedding reception, my husband was killed in a mass murder, a mass shooting. And it just left me like, this can't be real. I'm battling cancer. We just had a second child. What are we doing? So I was just stuck. I stayed in Buffalo for about a month and a half. I didn't want to go home, you know, for a while. I didn't want to go back to Texas. I just wanted to be around my family, my parents. I just wanted to be his mom, his sister. I just wanted to be with my family. But come to find out, the day we found out I had cancer, when I was still under, he called his mom. He told his mom, she's a good person. She doesn't deserve this, that God should take him and not me. And actually 5 months to the day I found out I had cancer, that's when he got killed.
Oh, wow.
5 months. I found out March 13th I had colon cancer. My husband my husband passed away August 14th. 5 months to the day.
Wow.
So yes.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to my kids and my family, I said, you know, Destiny didn't get that time with him. She only had about 4 or 5 months with him. So I said, listen, if anything was to ever happen to me in life, I want my kids to say, you know what? Mom took us everywhere. And that was the drive for this whole traveling thing. I take them kids everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, they go. We're going to Bali at the end of March.
Oh, wow.
And they're the only kids on the trip. Well, my son, you know, he's probably 21, so he's not a kid. But
still.
They're the only young ones on the trip. And I told them, I said, I just want y'all to go. I want y'all to experience things. I want y'all to say, when anything ever happened to me, I want you to be like, man, Mom took us to Bali. Man, she took us. I surprised him for his 11th birthday. I took him to Hollywood. Who goes to Hollywood? Right. You know, and even the TSA person was like, oh my God, where are y'all going? I was like, we're going to Hollywood. He was like, he told him, he said, your mom is something special. Yeah. He's like, for your 11th birthday, you going to Hollywood? He said in first class. Yeah. We had black car service everywhere. I just wanted to show them and treat them the way, you know. Yes.
So that there's a lot to unpack in that. I mean, seriously, like, I don't want the listeners to hear your story and think that it was easy.
Right.
Because it wasn't. I mean, I remember the day after the incident, because August 14th is my son's birthday.
Yes.
And I remember getting calls with people asking me, was it my kid's father because of the last name? And I'm like, what happened? And then hearing all that. So that, being able to tell your story now with the calmness that you have now,
right.
I just want people to understand that just as a leader going through things, it's not easy in the moment, but you're able to come out of it, because I mean, you're a testament to that. And so when we just think about, one, going back to, I'm trying to figure out like which way to go.
Right.
Because there's a lot. But the one point that I want to lead out, because I'm just thinking of, when you think of just the characteristics of leading. One, leading your family, your children. That's a level of CEOism that you just don't get no training with.
Right.
But hearing, how you have valued your children in a way that you're wanting them to have some experiential learning, that embodies that whole empathetic leadership and empowering leadership, because now you're empowering them to take control of their life because they're seeing what you're doing, right? And then experiencing a loss of your significant other. I can't say that I know what that feels like because I've never been through that. But like I mentioned before, sometimes when you go through something in one aspect, it lends itself to another aspect.
Yeah,
and so
definitely does.
I want to just hear your take on, as you've shifted from thinking back to that time, you know, being in union with the husband, and then now having to quickly pivot as a leader of your home.
Right.
You now have to pivot into the COO, like you were co-founding your family.
Right.
And now you have to just be the founder of it. You
Everything.
have to be the executor of it. Now you have to, you know, just be in control of leading and all of the things. And so I want to hear your story about, or hear your take on, how did you feel like you had to show up in an empathetic nature, and how did you have to show up as empowerment? Like how were those things important to you when it came to just empowerment and empathy and just being intentional about your practices and things that you did? Like,
so when it first happened, I didn't care about life at all. I didn't care. I didn't want to do chemo no more. I had 2 more chemo sessions left, and I was just like, can I quit? And she was like, no. I said, well, I don't care no more. I don't. And I've developed this attitude for a couple of months where my son would come in from school, Mom, look what I did, I got an A. And I'm laying in the bed like, oh, that's nice. I really don't care. You know? My grandmother moved in with me. She was basically taking care of Destiny, changing the diapers. Even my son was. He was doing stuff for the baby and stuff. I was in the bed. I didn't care. You know? Excuse me. Sorry. But I didn't care. But as I started looking at my kids, I'm telling you, if it was not for the kids, I don't know where I would be. Because after a while, I started looking at them like, okay. And even my aunt said it. She was like, you're their only living biological parents. Of course they're going to say mom, mommy, mother, mom. No. You're it. You have to embrace it. And I thought about that and I said, I am it. So by me laying here saying I want to die and I want to kill myself and being depressed, who am I going to be? Who's going to be here for them? Who's going to love them like me? Who's going to treat them like me? Don't get me wrong, my mom, my sister.
Yeah.
Sure. But who's going to do it like me? I'm there. Listen, I even say this to this day to them. I say, tell me what's going on in school or what's going on in your life, because for some reason I feel like I'm a fixer. I tell them all the time, I will fix what you got going on. You got something going on in school, mommy gonna handle it. Just don't react, I got it. And I've been like that since, everything happened. So I'm like, who's gonna love these kids like me? They got family, yeah, duh, but who gonna love them like me? Who gonna take care of them like me?
Right.
Who gonna be there? Then if I do something to myself, my son, it's over for him, because he's gonna be like, are you kidding me now? My mom and my dad. So I said no. That I remember saying that, and then one day I got up and was like, come on, T, you gotta get up, go do the rest of your chemo. Get up. I graduated from like chemo. They make you do the whole graduation
bell and everything. Yeah.
Let's do this. Had a good time, and from that moving forward, I said it's on.
Yeah.
I had a friend that said, listen, you need to write a book about what you just went through. I wrote the book, and that helped so much. I keep telling people, y'all don't understand me writing and going through memories and laughing about my husband doing stupid stuff. It made it better. And once I seen how that book impacted so many people, when I did my first book signing, there were so many people like,
I remember you came down here to do it.
Yes, and it was so many people like, you inspire me. Now I'm sitting there like, I'm not inspiring these people, but they were walking up to me, holding my hand. The book signing was so long because I made sure I talked to every individual person. If you're telling me I'm inspiring you and that you love me and I don't even know you, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation. I love you too. Thank you for even coming out and supporting me. The line was out the door and they kept saying T. Kind of got to keep it moving. But I'm like, these people, they saying they love me and I'm going to take my time with them. So if we're going to be in here for 10 hours, so be it. And that really made me, and that pushed me.
Yeah.
It pushed me to my writing business. It pushed me to being a ghostwriter and a publisher, because now I have people saying, I want to write a book. You wrote one. Can you help me? So I sat back and said, oh, can I help you? Yeah, Tanisha Mackin Publishing definitely can help you.
That's what's up.
Then I had people say, oh my God, I want to write a book. I don't know how to start. I don't know. Tanisha Mackin ghostwriter. Yeah, I'll ghostwrite your book.
That's what's up.
So these things birth from, my pain.
Yeah.
Pain into a purpose, basically.
Exactly.
It birthed from that. And the whole traveling thing as well.
Exactly. I was reading something today, and it said, don't let your defeat be your determinant factor. It's just your starting point. And so when you think about that, when you think about just even in leadership in itself, like sometimes people just get in their mind like, I'm the leader, so I'm the boss.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, and there's nobody else here, there, there, because if you're at the top of something, then there's nobody above you, so that's it. But in your story, I heard that you said your aunt was like, you gotta get up.
Yeah.
Like, you are the CEO of this company, but the way that you were able to move forward is you had support.
Yes.
To tell you the thing, like, she wasn't the boss of you.
Yeah.
But she said, you gotta get up. She helped you to see,
yeah.
like, your purpose in that, but then also just focusing on your children and understanding that in order for me to lead them well, I have to lead myself well, literally.
Yes.
Like, literally have to lead them well, which means that thinking about, like, nobody's going to do it like me.
Nope,
and
not at all.
I think that has a whole meaning in itself. Like, sometimes, you're in situations, and I've been in situations where people feel like nobody's going to do it like me, so I'm going to do all of the things. And then you're not empowering anybody else.
Right.
But the focus that you had was, yeah, they have aunts, they have grandmothers, but this is my job.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do it well. When I say like me, I mean they care for them like me. So I just think that is phenomenal. But then when you think about it too, when you talk about resilience, and I mentioned some of these things because these are the core values of what I do. And so resilience being that bounce back, that stick to itiveness. But not that bounce back and brushing off your shoulders and like, it happened, so what? But that bounce back meaning, all right, and this was the focus of season 1, like it happened, and I can go back all day long and reflect and be sad and have a pity party, or I can say, all right, how can I take this and make this a stepping stone to my next? And so even thinking about the writing of the book, that allows you to go back, reflect, and then be like, oh, and then look how impactful that was to other people. I was at the book site, so I knew
exactly.
And then,
right,
yeah, but to say even even with your baby writing the book and teaching him to take his pain to speak to other children whose fathers may not be present and things like that is phenomenal. But then also going and say, how can I leverage what I've been through, not for my own gain, but for a gain for someone else. When you think about Tanisha Mackin Publishing and ghostwriting, I mean, come on.
Right.
Come on.
And the stories I get from that, it's crazy because I'm like, I feel like I'm the counselor too when they be calling me with their stories, and because they cry, and I be sitting because sometimes I get mad because I had one client. I said, hold on, what happened now?
And you did
wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. I'm getting
too involved. Hold on.
I said, hold on, what happened to you? I said, where he at now? Like, hold on. She was like, wait, Tanisha, I just want to write. But I feel like I'm their counselor because sometimes they're afraid to write, or they're afraid to tell their story, or I'm afraid of what's going to happen with this person. I said, if they want to tell their side of their story, they can write their book. If this is your story, share. Because I always tell my clients, you never know who's going to pick it up and who you're helping. Even if one person, if one person read it and be like, okay, I'm not going to kill myself because she went through this and now this is where she is.
Exactly.
You don't know. You never know who you impacted. You never know, and I tell my clients that all the time. So I become their counselor, their therapist, and everything when we do these ghostwriting sessions. And then I become their overprotector because I'm like, wait, what? Wait, nah. Is he still, where he at? And they be on that phone cracking up. But I love the dynamic I have with my clients because I get close to them. But I have to, in order to write their story, I have to embody them.
Yeah.
And in my head, and in my head, I'm like, what would I do in their situation, or how? And I can visualize when they're telling me their story. I visualize the story and I put me in it. And I write from there, and they be like, "Girl, how did you just write my story like you was there?" I said, "Cause
so you're the first ChatGPT.
Girl, I embody. Look, I embody it.
Yeah.
So, and that's what my clients love about me, because they be like, "Girl, you wasn't there," but I'm like, "But you're telling me," and in my vision, I'm visualizing it. I'm thinking of it, and I'm like, okay, and I'll get to write.
No, I love that. Like one of my values is empathy, and I'll tell you a little story about that really quickly. Like I remember when I first moved down to North Carolina and I was teaching, and my principal did my end of year review and was like, "You're a great teacher, you're phenomenal. You get these kids to do what they need to do. They learn. You have great morale and relationship in the classroom. But I want you a little grass." I'm thinking, what? Because this is my second year there from New York. I'm like, excuse me? I ain't never heard nobody say that to me from New York, and thinking of that. And he was Canadian, so I'm thinking, you know better. You're from the North. Yeah, you like grass. And then he says, "I want you to work on empathy." And I was like, I had never heard that word before. I was like, empathy? What does that mean? I'm looking it up. Google wasn't the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even know what we was looking at before Google, but I'm looking it up, right? And I'm trying to figure out this empathy thing. I'm trying to get some books on, teach me how to empathy. I don't know what this is. Like I was really confused, but in my, and I think, God just works in a wonderful way, because I think that buried a seed where now my plight to try to figure out this empathy was my plight to embody empathy.
Yes.
And so when people think, I'm like empathy, I know sympathy.
Right.
Empathy, right? And so now, people, I think it's a lost, I'm not going to call it an art, but it's a lost character, because sometimes people just think empathy is, I get what you're saying, I hear you, I understand, but have you really put yourself in that person's shoes when you're being intentional about your reactions, your interactions, the decisions that you're making? So when I think about what you said with regards to ghostwriting, putting yourself in their shoes, having that empathetic characteristic so that you can tell someone else's story in a way that they want it to be told, in the way that they need it to come across, so that they can have a message. I think that is
that's just like, it's crazy, because that's just like the day my husband passed away. We had a whole house full of people. They in there crying, and I'm walking around. I'm like, "You good? Are you okay? Give me a hug." They looking at me like, "Am I good?
Are you right?
Are you good?" But I'm like, their reactions coming in the house, and when they first see me, they falling out and crying, and I'm just like, "Are you good, baby?" And they like, "Oh, ma'am."
Yeah. And I mean, what type of leadership characteristic is that? Like, if you're the one that's experiencing it, and then you're able to be compassionate to someone else, and to be able to have them see, like, if she can show up
I
like
wanted
this.
to make sure everybody in that house was good, and they all looking at me like, "You might want to sit down, and we might want to love on you." But my thing was, I got to get up and love on y'all, because y'all in here crying.
And I need y'all to be strong for me. when I'm having my moment. Right.
I didn't have my moment, and that's the crazy part. I didn't have my moment until we went to the gravesite. I was concerned about everybody else, but before we left that gravesite, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Y'all go repast, party, I don't care what y'all doing. My dad was like, "No, you can't just sit here." I said, "Well, we ain't been apart for 13 years. What makes you think I'm just gonna leave him here?" And that's when my dad was like, "Oh yeah, she about to snap. We might want to get her now," because I held it up for everybody. You good? Y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all need something? You want something to eat? Do you want something to eat? Do you want to sit down? No, I don't want to sit down. I want to love on y'all. And they like, "We want to love on you," but I'm like, "Y'all good? Y'all want?" I was doing a lot.
Yeah, that's a message in itself as a leader. You can't just be doing a lot, because then you will. You will break. You gotta allow the support. You gotta allow people to help in the areas that they can help, so that you can be well.
And I had to learn that, because I'm like, "You can eat the plate over there. You want something to drink?" Like, "Oh, ma'am."
And I think because sometimes, like, even in life and situations, we take on so much, and like, I can do it because you have the ability to do it. Doesn't mean you should do it. You need to reevaluate. Is this your capacity? Are you operating your best? Because you may not be if you're trying to do every little thing that's going on.
Let me tell you what I just told my son. I said, "I'm passing you the torch, buddy." I said, "I'm in my soft girl era now. You deal with everything." Now he looked at me like, I said, I'm not fighting. I'm not doing nothing no more. I said, I'm my son prayer. I said, so I'm gonna pass the torch on to you, buddy. He was looking at me like, right. He was
I like when you mentioned though, like talking about like just one person when you encourage the people writing their books, like just one. In season 1, that was one of the focuses of like just one, like really understanding that you're never gonna reach everyone.
Yeah.
But if you do it for just one, then it's not in vain. And so some people ask like before, like just one, thinking like it's the just, the better, the perfect. No, it's just one, meaning like if one person looks at it and one person likes it or one person is impacted by it, then it
or they don't jump off the bridge because of it.
It was purposeful because
it was
I was only just one.
Right.
That somebody decided to take time with or talk to or whatever.
Right.
So just being able to be that just one is amazing. As we're just closing out, first of all, just again, thank you for sharing for the just one.
Yes.
To hear it, to nurture some other leaders out there that may not see themselves as a leader, that may be able to identify with, something that we talked about here, and now they can be able to see themselves to show up well. What would be like a message you want to give to someone in a situation where they have to start over? Because that was the biggest thing for you, having to start over in such a broad spectrum.
Yeah. I always tell people it's gonna be hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not about to say, girl, it's gonna be okay. No, it's gonna be hard. Okay, but you have to find something positive to focus on. I focused on my kids. I was like, okay, I need to be here for them, and they can see the change in me. I'm being a happy mom again. So my message is, man, you're gonna have to get up and do it. It's gonna hurt like hell. You're gonna have your down days. You're gonna have your up days, but keep pushing, because at the end it's gonna work out. Keep pushing, because I push every day. A song can come on, and I'm like, man, But then sometimes I look at it like, okay, I hear you. Okay, you ain't okay. I got the message. Like if I'm having a bad day, and there's something. I'll be like, okay, I got you. I'm not gonna go that route. Okay, I'm good. But it hurts. It's going on 14 years. 14 years it's going on. We would have been married 15 years. He left me 14 years. So it's still hard. And then you got a child that walk like him, look like him, talk like him, and his mannerisms is all him. So some days it hurt, and then some days I'll be like, man, you just like this dude, So it helps. It just hurts sometimes when your daughter asks you questions about him because she never had that chance. Right. Well, how was my dad? I'm like, who's your brother? I said, everything you want to know about him, it's all in him, but it hurts because you had one that knew him.
One that didn't get the chance to, right?
So right now I'm focused on her too, because she's in counseling because of it.
Yeah.
She's in counseling now because of it.
Right. She's in those changing years. I taught 8th grade for 11 years.
Yes.
Yes. Actually 12 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
them years, they metamorphed from I kind of want to be an adult, but not really. I only need you when I want you. But I don't need you when I don't want you. Don't be over here talking to me unless I'm talking to you. I want to be an adult sometimes, but not right now.
Yes, and then she posts, and I'll be looking at her post, and she's like, I miss him. Maybe a picture of him and her, and I just be like, you knew him, but you needed that.
There's a part of her for sure. Yeah.
I just keep pushing. That's you. You gotta stay strong. You gotta stay focused. Your mental health. That's another thing. Your mental health. Please go to counseling.
Yeah.
Please, it is what it is. Go to counseling. You're not too cool for it.
Not too cool.
Believe me. Every time I start feeling crazy, I'll be on somebody's couch like. So when I was 5, I'm on the couch.
No, I hear that. That's
I'm on
real.
the couch. Okay,
that's true.
No,
that's true.
No.
And I think it's important to like really stamp in like that. Keep pushing. And every day is a new day, and so there's never a moment of being able to say like this one day that everything was well. Like, no, every day is a new day.
Yeah.
My pastor preached about like a new 24.
Yeah.
Every day you got a new 24 hours, and so every day is a new day.
Every day you wake up is a blessing.
Right?
How about that?
That day's gonna be. It's never gonna be a day where it's like, okay, starting over is like, oh yeah, and then this is the day everything's perfect. Like,
Yeah,
no, this is the day that this happened. It's great, and just keep going. Keep
His
going.
death taught me that life is so short. That's why I do what I do. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna go. Listen, I'm afraid of flying. Yes, I'm gonna put that out there. I am afraid of flying. I took myself to Hawaii to meet my god sister on a 10-hour flight by myself. And I said, the whole time I was like, "Well, this is crazy." But I said, guess what? I'm going to Hawaii.
How long is the flight to Bali?
Ooh, so from LAX to Singapore is 17 hours. And then from Singapore to Bali is 2 hours. But I said, you know what?
Blood pressure.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be with my kids and some of my family. So I said, you know what? We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna learn to live this life. Because that's what I say, live life and travel. I'm telling you, that's all I do is travel now. Every month I gotta be somewhere, and if I'm not somewhere, I'll be like, oh God, I'm itching. I gotta be in the airport. Like in a minute, I'm just gonna be sitting in the airport like this. Like, what's wrong with you?
Ma'am, do you work here?
I just need to sit here because I haven't been on a trip in a couple of weeks, so I need to just sit here. Just let me, I'm itching. Like I'm itching to go somewhere. Like
that's right.
Oh, that's crazy, but that's my move now.
Yeah,
that's my move.
And I think that's awesome. So, in the spirit of nurturing leaders for lasting success, talk to us just a little bit, or give us some insight on how we can support you. What do you have coming up that people can see about? What do you got, going on? What's the next thing that we can know that Tanisha Mackin is doing?
So, I'm still traveling. That's going to be all year. That's going to basically be for the rest of my life. So I'm still going to be traveling, trying to, get sponsors from different hotels, airlines, and just so I can go and work and do the job that I want to do. And that's, hey, I'm at this hotel, I'm at this resort, I need you guys to come see it, and see what you do, whatever. But I developed, and I haven't told anybody this.
No, I got inside. Yes,
Nobody
I feel so
knows.
lucky I got inside.
Nobody. So what I did was, I developed a book for my nephew, Jace. I developed a book, and the people in it, they're all us, our faces and everything. I had it. It's a children's book for him. I wanted it to be us, his family, because I wanted to grow with him. And in the back of it is his milestone. So each year, at 1 year old, Jace did this. At 2 years old, and that turned around and inspired me to do a couple of coloring books for people who travel with kids. Because on the airplane, you hear the kids, and it'd be too much. So I have 3 of them coming out, and there's 2 stories in each one. So the first one I have coming out is called My First Plane Ride. In one story, the little girl is excited, happy, can't wait to get on the plane. The second story, the little boy's scared. The other one is My First Road Trip. That's one road trip is with his grandparents, going to see his grandma. The other one is going to the beach. And then My First International Trip. One is going to Niagara Falls, and the other one is going to Bali.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it shows the kids how you get your passport and everything, but it's a color.
It's a color and something for them to do. It has so much intentionality behind it. I love it. What can we expect from us?
Second quarter. I'm shooting for April 1st. Because I asked my daughter, I said, well, what are you going to do on this flight to Bali? She was like, oh, I'm going to color and do this. I said, oh, you are? I said, I got something for you. And I said, I'm going to have these books for her. You go ahead and color. We're going to be on the flight for 17 hours. You might color the whole 3 books. But no, I wanted to do that for the kids. And also, I do travel guides.
Okay.
So I have one for Seattle. We went to Seattle, and we did everything in Seattle within 3 days. So I talked about places to go, a whole itinerary basically. Hotels to stay. We stayed in 2 hotels. We just did a lot. So I'm still doing my travel guides. I'm still doing the new coloring books now, and I'm also still doing YouTube. Okay. Giving tours, and it's just a lot. Anything that has to do with traveling and writing and ghostwriting, and I still have my ghostwriting clients. But my main focus is still traveling. That's all I want to do. I keep saying I don't want a new bag, I don't want no shoes, I want to travel.
That's awesome. So tell us how we can connect with you on social media platforms, YouTube channel. Go ahead and shout yourself out.
Okay, so YouTube channel is Tanisha's Traveling Bag. And that goes for all platforms. You find Tanisha's Traveling Bag as well as just Tanisha Mackin. So that's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. I'm on all social media. Every last one of them. I just got on, what is it called? Threads or something. I just got on that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. But it's basically like, I call it Instagram Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like Twitter, but it's from Instagram. So I'm on all platforms. Again, YouTube is Tanisha's Traveling Bag. Website is TanishaTravelingBag.info. And ghostwriting and publishing, if you need a book done, it's Tanisha Mackin Publishing at info.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I am so happy that you agreed to be a guest and share your story. I think that this is going to be helpful.
I'm just shy over here and do this podcast.
Give me a hug.
Look, anything to go travel. Oh, you want me to do the podcast? Oh, I'm on my way. You done asked me twice. I'm on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to stay in touch and keep up. And if you're listening, hit her up on all social media sites. And
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.